The One X is HTC's attempt to throw absolutely everything they can at a single device. And from the outside in, it really shows. And this is a contender for one of the best smartphones of the year in 2012, no doubt. So without any further ado, let's take a look at this quad-core beast. So starting at the outside, on the left there is a micro USB port, and on the right is just the volume rocker, which means up top you have both the power button and, unfortunately, the headphone jack. I say unfortunately because it should really be at the bottom, but that's okay. So the thing people talk about when they talk about the One X is the ridiculously good build quality. It's built like a Baus, precision milled unibody polycarbonate, design, a very thin, slightly curved body, a matte finish on the back, and an overall pretty sexy design. Up front, we have the 4.7-inch Super LCD display. That's kind of the star of the show. And I mean, it's just really, really thin. I mean, look at that. Check that out. That's very pocketable, no matter how big it looks. So you're looking at the back here, which is where you get that 8-megapixel camera with a flash, which is nice, and we'll get into that in a second, and the speaker, which claims to have Beats audio. I mean, I guess that's alright, it sounds fine to me. It's a cell phone speaker. And up front and at the top, there are these precisely milled holes for the cell phone speaker, and one of these holes holds the notification light, which is pretty nice, a subtle touch. And there's also that front-facing camera. And all of this is in a package that's pretty easy to hold. You know, it doesn't feel that large to me at all. I mean, that may be because I'm coming from the size of the Galaxy Nexus, which I'm very used to, but they take up about the same footprint here, so that's nice. So yeah, it passes the hardware test, so onto the software. Now just FYI, this is the quad-core unlocked version of the One X, so it's running a 1.5 GHz quad-core Tegra 3 processor, which is just not fair. It's just stupid fast. It flies through ICS and makes it look easy too. I can tell you that during everyday use, this was one of the most consistently, impressively fast phones I've ever used. And that Tegra 3 clearly has no problems here. And to top it all off, some tasty benchmark results. Yeah. Like a Baus. It's running Android 4.0.3 and has the latest version of Sense UI version 4. Now, some of us may not like this and others may. You know, it brings a lot of functionality. There are a lot of awesome HTC widgets included, like the clock, and some crazy extra animations, some gaudy visual effects and 3D twirly stuff. And to be honest, some of you may like that. I happen to prefer stock Android, but hey, if you like Sense UI or if you don't mind it, that's totally cool. It just helps a lot if you already know what you're getting yourself into, because HTC does change a lot around Android 4.0, as you can see. Just kind of makes it its own little HTC Sense playground, if you will. Anyway, I use an app called CPU Spy to check on that Tegra 3, and it looks like it can clock all the way down to 51 megahertz, but spends most of its time at 475 megahertz, and when it really needs to push some pixels, it hauls up to 1.4 gigahertz, and sometimes 1.5. One way to get it to do that is to play a game. No, not Angry Birds, this is Riptide GP, kicking it on a jet ski this time, and yes, of course, the One X handles it just fine. Very nice. So the screen has been awesome for gaming, and just about everything else should look good on a massive 4.7-inch 1280 by 720 display. Now the blacks aren't as ink black as the Samsung OLED displays, but the detail and the brightness here on the One X are top-notch. So that's awesome, and it's great for watching videos full screen and all the other apps that should open full screen. However, the